Hey, what's up? This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and welcome to my channel. I'm here to provide you the best crypto content that I can, including news and chart TA. So starting out with our chart TA, today we're actually going to start with Ethereum first because the chart for Ethereum is very interesting right now. So what we have here is that we have a Ethereum broke out above our resistance line that we put in about 1200 or so. It broke out strongly above this level recently, and right now it looks like it's broken under it again. So what this is looking like, and it's a little hard to tell on the 1 hour, but if you look at like a 1 day, it's looking like this is a bit of a fake out so far. So we can take a look at this. We see that it did break out. We have these very long wicks to the upside, which means that sellers came in and forced the price down from here. And so I would expect that for Ethereum to continue its uptrend, it needed to hold this $1,200 level, which it didn't. In fact, it broke under this level recently here, and it seems like it's breaking under it fairly strongly. So Ethereum right now is following Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going through a little bit of a dip. So in order for Ethereum to continue the uptrend that we've seen, that it started back on the 22nd, it needs to hold this support level. But now, if it pulls under the support level, this support level is going to turn into another resistance. So I'll be watching this, trying to give you as much information as I can. Right now, it's not looking particularly good for Ethereum in the short term. However, I must always stress that for the long term, this is still a pretty solid Ethereum price. I mean, we're down massively from all-time highs of $4,000 or $5,000. Not right now. I mean, we're at about $1,200. And if you're a long-term holder, this actually doesn't look too bad. But again, this is not financial advice. Now, when it comes to ETH, I'm just going to bring up where we are here on the weekly, and we go over here to RSI, and we'll take a look at their weekly RSI. And again, remember the RSI, the relative strength indicator, tells us whether or not it's been overbought or oversold. And taking a look at where we are right now, we're at 27, which means that we are currently very oversold. So in the long scheme of things, Ethereum very oversold relative to where it has been normally. So again, the short term, not looking so hot, but macro long term, very solid. We're still in an uptrend from a weekly perspective, daily perspective. We take a look going back over here, and we can see that, hey, we're still up. It was the 2020 lows was at about $100. Now it's still 10x that. So, all right. So let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin then. So Bitcoin. Okay, again, let's just look at the weekly real quick here. Start at the weekly, and you can see that again on the RSI, on our RSI, it's indicating that we're very oversold right now. We had these two giant red candles, these two giant red volume candles come in, and honestly, a lot of it's just been massive, massive selling. But we have the possibility, if we close green tomorrow, then we can put in another green weekly candle, which would be nice because so far we've had nothing but red candles and one green candle, but the other one was extremely tiny. Now, in order to see signs of reversal, again, what we'd have to look at is I'd take a look at the daily, and I want to see multiple green candles in a row. And right now, we're not seeing that. We're seeing that this level of resistance that we put in at about 21,800 or so is an incredibly strong level of resistance, and Bitcoin is having a really hard time breaking through this. So I'm not surprised right now. It's trending mostly sideways. I actually did go in and I made a very small Bitcoin buy today at about this level here at about 20,957 or so. And the reason for that was the fact that I'm a long-term investor and I'm planning on holding Bitcoin for years, and I want to DCA. I want a dollar cost average. I don't want to be so dependent on chart action, but I want to use the technical analysis to try to give me good entry points. And I like this entry point right now. We're in the middle of an uptrend. I would like to see it push above this resistance level, but we'll see. If it can't, then again, you're looking at possibly a double top, and that's extremely bearish. We can come down and retest the lows here at 17,000, and I would love to get some Bitcoin at 17,000 personally. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm a long-term investor. I want to hold it for the long term, and 17,000 is a really good price for me. All right. That being said, I've said before on this channel that the maximum pain that we could get, depending on if this bear market is like our previous bear market, is at about 11,000 or so, at about here or so. We'd go in and put in a quick. I used to have a trend line here. I don't know what happened to it, but right about here. That's what you'd be looking at. If this were the same as the previous bear markets, we'd be looking at about 11,000. It would come down here, and they would touch 11,000, and it would pop back up. That's 84% down from the highs from the top of the bull market from 69,000. That's what I would expect. So that's still in play. It's definitely possible. And right now, I'm looking at these charts. I'm gonna try to give you the most accurate information that I can. And right now, I like the risk reward. So it could definitely get better. It could definitely get worse. You know, there's no guarantee. We could go up or we could go down at this point, but Bitcoin is extremely oversold, and there might still be some pressure coming for sure. All right. But like I said, I'm a long-term investor. I want to nibble in these prices here, and then I will see based on if it comes down and touches this level. I'm definitely looking to add in between where it is here and that level. All right, so let's also talk about some news. So there's been some speculation here that Ethereum has had a merge delay. So there was a recent dev meeting, and there is some issues surrounding some of the merges they've been doing on the testnet. Apparently, some of the nodes went down, and they're having some issues with this testnet. And just as a reminder, what they're trying to do is they're trying to take Ethereum and convert it to a proof of stake versus right now it's a proof of work. And they expect to do this. They expect to deploy this merge on another testnet by the 6th of July. So there's been speculation that they will complete the merge on the mainnet, on the actual Ethereum mainnet in August, but we don't know if that's going to be the case or not. There's been some issues with testing, and there have been some issues with apparently some of these nodes coming offline. So I honestly think that they're probably going to push it back from that point. I don't personally think it's going to happen in August. I think it's going to happen after that, September, October, maybe. All right. And let's get a quick update on El Salvador's Bitcoin experiment. So this is from CNBC. They're saying that the $425 million Bitcoin experiment is not saving the country's finances. And basically, since El Salvador has been buying the dip, they've gotten wrecked over the past couple of months as Bitcoin's price has plummeted. So it's fallen more than 70% from its November 2021 peak, and more than 55% from the time that they bought Bitcoin, essentially. So that being said, it doesn't necessarily mean that El Salvador is in big trouble right now. Honestly, if you're a long-term holder of Bitcoin, I definitely think that in the long term it's going to go up. They have this unrealized paper loss of about 50 million or so, which is only 0.5% of the national budget. So they're not in massive debt for this. They're down a little bit, and I would assume that the president of El Salvador is probably going to wind up buying some more Bitcoin as well on this dip. But I will follow this story, and I'll keep you up to date as I get more information. All right, so the last thing I want to show you is the Bitcoin monthly return percent. And based on historical returns, July has normally been a very good month for Bitcoin. You've had 3 years in which July has posted a negative return, and you've had 6 years where July has posted a positive return. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get a positive return for this July, but historically, it's been an excellent time for Bitcoin in July. The only thing I'll say for sure is that this has not been in any sort of bear market whatsoever. I mean, it starts in 2013, and the last full bear market we've had for securities was 2008. So it doesn't necessarily take into account the macro picture, but historically, July has been a strong month for Bitcoin, and we'll see whether or not this proves true for this July or not. All right. That's all I've got for you. This is Cody the Coin Raptor. If you like any of my content, please be sure to follow, give me a subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what I can do differently, what you'd like to see. I would greatly appreciate that. Have a nice day.